Welcome to In Your City Show. It's our second day right here in the new studios here at the new KLIS 590 AM. And of course, on demand, the Lou Information Station live at louinfo.com. That's all you have to do is go to louinfo.com. You can watch the show, listen to the show, and of course, being that it's streaming 24/7, you can keep going back and forth. You can watch yesterday's show, our first show.
Like we said yesterday, binge watch. Yep.
Yeah, we're the new binge watch show, right? Everybody's gonna be on pins and needles waiting for the next episode of us. You can go to Apple, Spotify, everywhere that you stream, you're able to get the Lou info, but get us the In Your City Show. So welcome. We're a little late getting started. Of course, hope you can bear with us. It is only the second day, so there's a lot going on. You know, we're sitting here talking, trying to remember what to say and what we're going to talk about, but there's so much behind the scenes that goes on between lights, camera, and of course, we're always dependent upon technology.
The gremlins are at full force right now. I'm working on all the equipment and everything. Just kind of like, you know, I feel like what was it? The one with the big ears. What were they called? The or gremlins, but I mean, yeah, gremlins. But what was it?
At midnight.
Yeah, what was his name? Gizmo.
Gizmo.
Yeah, we got Gizmo in there chewing on cables and doing all kinds of things. So
things do happen. So, and even when we are smooth and running and everything's great, there'll still be glitches sometimes. That's just the way it goes, you know.
Especially when you're live. Yeah, doing live stuff.
But we're having a good time. I'm Kelly Lamb, and
I'm Gordon Montgomery.
And we've been doing this a long time. It's just that this show
you might not be able to tell.
Yeah, it's new at this location. We were here quite some time ago with another show, the She Said, He Said, but In Your City's been a while. We've got 3 beautiful publications. I heard Dave talking about them earlier, and it was really nice. Yeah, so every month we have a new theme. June right now is the men's issue. So if you do get the magazine, you'll see the gorgeous covers with the coach, Beck, with the Battle Hawks. I kept calling the Black Hawks.
Yeah,
so
that's hockey.
Yeah, that's hockey.
Back with sports with Kelly.
Yeah, the Battle Hawks. And then, of course, Dave Glover, if you know him, he's an awesome individual, been in radio for 20 years now.
And music.
Crazy. And then also Chef Colucci
Gianni.
over at Gianni over at the Garden Members Club on our covers. And then our women's covers, which I don't think you can see, we'll have to hold them up because you're not able to see our cool table down here. But our
actually, I want to invite you to go to citylifestyle.com. Go to citylifestyle.com. All you got to do is put in your zip code, and you can pick Clayton, Chesterfield, St. Charles, or even Renee's magazine, Kirkwood, and you can see all of the City Lifestyle magazines that are right here in our city. You can thumb through the magazines, and if you would like, you can also subscribe to the magazine right there at citylifestyle.com.
Yeah, you can get that to your home. So we mail out to like 45,000 homes.
45,000, the largest distribution of any magazine in St. Louis.
So we'll tell you a little bit. We've got some great guests on. We've got, we do have a question to ask here. Maybe you're a parent, a grandparent, an aunt, and you've got a little one at home, and they want to draw you a picture.
And they're proud of it.
Oh, they're so proud of it. And they always want you to hang it on the refrigerator. And sometimes they actually take that drawing and they take it to school to share with the teachers about
show and tell.
Show and tell. Remember show and tell?
Once they show it, there's a lot to tell.
There is a lot to tell from it. You kind of can, maybe pick your own meaning from it. But, while we get those ready for you to be able to see some of that we thought we'd share with you that are, really collectible items, and every parent would want their kid to take that home from school, right?
Right. Right.
So, if you had something, great that has been awesome with your child, we'd love for you to share it. We got the comment section here. So if you're on louinfo.com, you can comment to us, but, my mom likes drinking wine.
Here we go.
Yeah, every mom wants that to happen. They get better. So what else do we have?
Yeah, so if you're on air, make sure you go to YouTube so you can see all of these.
Yeah, if you're watching on radio, unfortunately, you couldn't see the mom sitting there with her glass of wine.
Dear firefighter, thank you for saving me from danger. You were so brave. God bless you with your fire hose.
So if you're looking at louinfo.com, you can see the fire hose, and I guess that worked well to put out the fire. What do you think?
Oh my gosh! Yeah.
What else do we have?
I'm sure the fireman's wife is happy.
Oh,
now this one
Okay, can you read it?
This one, well, yeah. So this is actually, I went to a meeting with an advertiser, and she actually showed me this that her niece, she's an aunt, and her niece did this photo. This photo is actually a farmer and his horse.
And that's a horse.
That's a horse.
Okay, so he's getting ready to ride his horse. Okay, must be a
But
girl
I'm
horse.
sure your imagination is taking you a lot of other places with this photo. So yeah, that's a farmer with his horse right there.
Do we have another beautiful one to share?
No, that's it. Oh yeah, here we go. We're
sure. So as you can see, it looks like all of the family was hung on their vacation and murdered, but they were actually snorkeling. Oh yeah, this one, best friends.
Yeah, they're best buddies.
Just best friends at school, and
this
wanted to
Bobby's
share
best friend.
Bobby's best friend.
Pete.
So Pete, let's see. So you never know. So I remember, I guess you know the story of my daughter coming out to the car. So we were at a wedding shower, one of those funny wedding showers, and we got as a gift a friendly little women's device.
Oh,
you can probably imagine what that is in your head.
Yeah,
right? So we all got one. Mine was purple.
Lightsaber.
Teresa got a pink one, a lightsaber.
I heard one of the earlier shows today, Grant's show. I thought they were talking about Star Wars, so we'll go with lightsaber.
But they would lightsaber. We'll go with lightsaber. And so, of course, it was in a box, and we were getting ready to leave for the lake. And my daughter, I kept telling her, "Gosh, my head hurts. My neck is killing me." So she came out with my purple lightsaber to rescue me from my headache. So you really never know what kids will do. They do the funniest things without even thinking about it.
Kids do. Wasn't there a show called Kids Do the Darndest Things, or Say the Darndest Things?
And
maybe
they write and draw the darndest things as well.
Oh yeah.
So on our show, we're excited. So Gordon has a great segment that he does actually outside of here as well called Soul Strings. And if you go to inyourcityshow.com, you can go to our YouTube for In Your City Show. You'll see a few of his Soul Strings episodes. Gordon is a musician. He is a singer. He's been on stage since he was 17 years old. Incredible voice. Incredible musician, even though you won't realize it. When you can sit down at a piano or a guitar and listen to a song and within seconds start playing it, that's a pretty amazing talent. So I love when he does it. But it's Soul Strings, so it's kind of really, the soul of music. He may talk a little bit.
Tugs at the strings of your heart.
And the strings of your heart. So our first Soul Strings guest, which will be actually each Tuesday of the week, will be a shorter version. Pat Liston is a great interview that you can watch on inyourcityshow.com that Gordon met with. And wow, what a great, and you read his book. We have his book here actually right there.
Right.
You don't realize
13 Notes to
like
Life.
You started your 17. What is that? Mama's Pride? Is that
Mama's Pride?
Mama's
Yes.
Pride, the band. You don't realize who you meet, especially at our age, who you've met along the way or sit next to on an airplane like Michael Jackson, like Pat did.
Yeah.
And just the great stories that he talks about.
We'll actually play a segment of that. We'll have to play one Tuesday, a segment of Pat's interview.
Yeah, let you actually hear him playing. He was live at Carbon playing there in the cigar room, which was pretty cool. But how do you say his name? Is it Marcin?
I hope I got this right. MoAcyr Marchini. I think that's how you pronounce it.
So he's going to be here shortly, and we're going to bring him in, and Brazilian background.
Born musician, composer, and cultural educator.
Yeah, very cool. And then we're going to take it a whole different spin. We do got a great destination for you to go to. Kat Muse, who's going to be bringing a lot of bands and lively things that are going on the weekend. She is not able to be with us here today, which she was going to kind of talk about what she's bringing to the show. So she had something come up, which definitely happens. And we just, make shift and turn things around. But she's going to be bringing us something on Fridays. We're going to meet Logan Janis, who's actually our incredible producer, but he is from Mostly Superheroes. And I hope they said that right because I'm not looking at it. He's going to be with us tomorrow. He's going to be doing a great segment on Friday on the show, bringing you movies and TVs and lots of fun things also to look forward to. But we're going to take it to a whole different notch today when we talk to Judy Henderson. Judy Henderson is a woman who spent 36 years in prison for murder, and she didn't do it. I mean, can you imagine? So we're going to hear her story. We're going to talk about that. And then we got a poll question for the day. We want to know, because of the place and destination that we have for you, we want to know if you believe in ghosts, or maybe you have a ghost story, something happened to you. They say that
46% of people, is it that 40, I think, believe in ghosts, and 20% of people, this is whatever
How many
poll they
believe?
take.
What's the percentage?
I think it's 40 something.
Wow.
I think it is.
I would think it would be higher than that.
Really?
Yeah.
Maybe it is. We'll relook it up because I have so many numbers
So there's
and things
two
in
of
my
us
head.
right now. Do you believe in ghosts?
I do.
Okay.
Only because things have happened. When I say ghost, I don't mean, but kind of spiritual forces, maybe.
Like a light flickering.
Yeah, energy. Yeah, there's some things
Or your
happening.
refrigerator knocking.
That was crazy. We both were sitting on the couch completely stumped when we heard knocking.
It was
literally, it sounded like someone was on our refrigerator. And when we opened the door of the refrigerator, it was even louder. And it was not.
It was like there was a leprechaun inside of our refrigerator banging on a refrigerator. I'm dead serious.
But it wasn't like the ice maker's to the left of the refrigerator.
In the door.
It's not. The sound was not.
It was coming from the back. It was like
back
behind the refrigerator.
Okay, Gordon went outside to see if our neighbor came over.
Wasn't hammering on the house.
Yes,
yeah.
Was hammering on the house or something. That's how crazy.
And to let you know, we don't have a crazy neighbor. We live in Newtown. So all the houses. So when we live in Newtown, the house to the left of us, their yard is actually
next to our house.
That's their yard. Our yard is to the right. So every house's yard is to the right of their house. So that would be their yard.
Yeah.
So they're not crazy knocking on our house.
Yeah, no, it wasn't. Nobody was there. We still don't know. We've been there 6 years and we've never heard anything like it. And I don't know why the ghost would be in our refrigerator or something, but I've had several stories and we'll have to have some fun. I think we're probably gonna have a little paranormal fun on here and have a special guest on to kind of talk about that. But anyway, our poll question, do you believe in ghosts? Have you had maybe something that's been paranormal energy, weird things or something happened to you? We would love to know. And then we actually, there's something we were kind of talking about too. We had the funny drawings and that, and we had a conversation with a friend, but man, when and what is the age now that you finally get your kid off the payroll?
Yeah.
And when I say that, they aren't doing anything to get paid. It's just you're paying for everything, like car insurance, card payments, phone payments. I mean, when I was young, we didn't have cell phones. We didn't have all the things that we have now that you need, that you have to pay for.
So what did Mark Sutherland say? It's like after
rent's over when they're 18. And he said it in a British accent. But yeah, you're done. You start paying rent when you're 18 because them paying for it's not going to happen.
Now you're being charged.
Yeah. So you know what? We're all ready because we got started a little bit late, but we are going to take it to a quick break because, of course, it pays for the station. It's all the amazing advertisers that come on board that believe in the station, want to be a part of it, share their voice, and have you hopefully visit them local. And that's what it's all about here on the Lou Information Station, is being local. We're going to bring in MoAcyr, we hope we're saying it correctly, who's a musician and entertainer. Find out a little bit about him and our social streams right here on the In Your City show. So again, go to luinfo.com if you want to watch it. It's streaming live at all times. And then, of course, we're on the beautiful dial on the radio at 590 AM if you still love that way of listening to things. But we're your favorite podcast, we hope now.
Yeah.
All right.
So we'll be right back.
Welcome back to In Your City Show right here at the Lou Information Station. You can watch us live on louinfo.com. And we are here. We've got our first Soul Strings. I love this.
In-house guest.
Yes, and our first Soul Strings guest. This is Gordon's baby. This is something that he has put together. And being a musician, like we talked about, he really wanted to bring the heart of music into the show. So every Tuesday, we're going to have somebody in the station that's doing incredible things out there in the music world with a beautiful soul. And today we have, I can't say it correctly because his accent is so amazing. So I get to call him Mo, but
MoAcyr Marchini.
Yes, very close.
Very close.
Very close.
Welcome to the
Yeah.
show, and thank
Thank
you
you.
for being here.
The right pronunciation is MoAcyr. It has to make
MoAcyr.
3 syllables. Yeah,
Three syllables.
Yeah.
Okay.
MoAcyr,
Yeah.
perfect.
It's a Brazilian Indian name is the first Brazilian name, actually. We have our Pocahontas there as well in Brazil. Her name was Iracema.
Oh, real
Iracema
Pocahontas.
fell in love with one Portuguese general, but the Portuguese accept her. So she went and lived in Portugal for a while, but she was Indian, like no clothes and like no.
Oh, no clothes.
And then she had to go to
Perfect
Portugal,
angel.
like and wear like those big dresses, and then she got fed up with that very shortly. I think she lived over there for 3 years, and then she returned to Brazil. But they have 3 kids, and one of the kids was MoAcyr, which is my name. So they said that's first Brazilian name, MoAcyr.
Beautiful. I
Yeah.
love it.
That's so awesome.
Yeah.
Well, welcome to the show. We're glad
Thank
that
you.
you're here, and we're glad you're our first guest on Soul Strings.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Brazilian-born musician.
Yeah.
So when did you first start? Let's go back and let's start talking about when you first started getting interested in music and what got you interested in music.
Well, I always played percussion. But since I was 10 years old,
You
I
say,
have
"Oh,
like a,
okay, 10.
yeah.
Always coming out. I thought you were just coming out playing.
Yeah, but I play because I love to do it. Like me and my friends, we had like each one have individual percussion instruments. So we did a little samba group. Samba is the Brazilian national music. So we did a little samba group and we play in the corner. But back then the police used to chase us out of the corner. They didn't want us to play in the corner. And then the military was on power. Now we have to understand that too. But anyway, so like then we went to the backyard and then we started playing in the backyard. There they didn't bother us. So like I started with I was 10 years old. But soon like I started like working, going to school at night, and then it was hard to continue with the music. And then I got a degree in advertising, and then I started working on the PBS, like in Brazil, called TV Cultura, which is mainly the most like strong PBS in Brazil. And then like with 26, I moved to the US. And then when I moved to the US, like I moved to Chicago. And then like in Chicago, a couple of years later, I started really getting homesick of Brazil. So I started doing a samba school. Are you familiar with the term samba school?
No.
It's those big Mardi Gras parades that we have in Brazil, those huge ones like in Rio
Oh,
de
okay,
Janeiro.
yeah.
Those organizations who put those Mardi Gras parades together are called samba school. And I grew up in the samba schools in Brazil. Like I prayed on them, like I was always present, like at the parade. And Carnival will always be my love. The Mardi Gras parades, like the whole season of Carnival, it has been my love. And then when I moved to Chicago, I started one of them. I missed that too much. So like I started a group of like a samba school in Chicago. It was called Chicago Samba School. And it was in 1990 when I did that. And then for a while we had like 25 percussionists, like we have like 10 dancers, but it was very confusing.
How many percussionists?
25.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but in Brazil we have 400s, and those groups over there, like every one of those have 400 percussionists. Those parades have 5,000 people on those parades, and like 50 different sessions, and the percussion session is only one of them. It's something out of this world.
I'm
but
going to
it's-
say,
yeah.
because I'm sitting here and I'm trying to comprehend 400 percussionists playing at the same time.
It's a lot of rehearsals. And
What kind of look does the one guy who messes up get after the other 399 are like going, we were all good. Now we got to do this again?
or just the main guy over there, like the main lead drum cannot show up. Well, let's reschedule this rehearsal with another 400 people. No, it doesn't work like that. Like they know they have to do those rehearsals.
Everybody's prepared.
And they are sharp. Like it's part of the culture. They grew up with that, and I grew up with that as well. And then I started this group in Chicago. And then when they
And you
started,
said there was 25 in this group that you started?
there was 25 instruments, percussion instrument, only percussion. There was no melodic instrument. It was all percussion. And then like we did some presentations at some Latino festival at an AVP in Chicago. and which I'm still working with them today. You know, like I still work with the Navy Pier. So that band there in Chicago called the Chicago Samba School, it still exists today. But we took the school out of the name because it was too confusing for Americans. Like, this is a school? Is this a band? What is this? No? And there was just a Brazilian band. So we took the school out of the name. It became only Chicago Samba. That's the name of the group. And we're full, like doing a lot of shows over there. So I'll go back and forth the two cities. But I live in St. Louis. I love over here. So this is my city too. Okay? When you say it's your city, this is my city.
It is our city.
I've been living over here for 32 years now. And I came over here.
You've been here for 32? I was going to ask when you moved here.
In St. Louis for 32 years. 20 years in Maplewood, now 12 years in Dogtown.
Oh, okay.
So like and I came over here in 1991, to do a workshop with a group of percussionists, like called the Sambistas. They play samba music, but they didn't know how to tune the drums properly. So like I gave them instruction. I came for the weekend, and I met a girl like when they came over here, and I was without a relationship. Like then we started dating, and then we dated for a while, and then I moved in. We lived together for 20 years. We're not together anymore, but it was great.
Now,
did the music have anything to do with that relationship?
Yeah, she was a drummer too, and she loves to play drums. Now we still play together once in a while. She's kind of busy. You know, she's a professor. She was a professor at Webster. She retired now, but she's like, please, if you have like festivals, she doesn't want to do clubs. But if it's a festival, like something like that, you need like my skills, like please call me. So I always call her to do some gigs with us. So.
Well, very cool. So do you have any, now you say you have something over in Chicago, you've got a band that you play with in Chicago. Do you have anything here locally?
Yeah. So like, and then when I moved over here, like I wait for 1 year, and then I create another band too called Samba Bom. That's a local band. Okay. Yeah. And
that's the local one.
And then we have a singer, wonderful singer, but she's a dentist. And so she's always really busy with working as a dentist. She's from Brazil. And too bad she couldn't come because she has this sweet voice, beautiful voice. And and then we have a bunch of presentations. Like this, I'm gonna plug in my website over here. Okay?
Yes, absolutely. We want you to. We want people to find out where you're at, where you're playing, and
sure.
where they can go to your website.
Sure. So it's called www.samba, SAMBA, BOM.com, which means good samba. That's what Samba Bom means. And we have our schedules over there on the website. But tomorrow there will be a wonderful show at the History Museum. Then we're going to do a show, a script that I wrote. I do many things, not like besides music, but and I work for Springboard St. Louis. I don't know if you're familiar with them.
You know what? I saw that. So tell me a little bit about that.
It's a nonprofit organization that brings culture or arts to schools. And I have programs with them, and one of them is called Sounds of Brazil that we're going to be doing tomorrow at noon at the History Museum. And this show, like I wrote a script like with a history of Brazil, and then so we tell the history of Brazil through music. We start with the indigenous Indians of Brazil, how the Portuguese arrived, how they brought the Africans in, how the cultures blend together. And then we end up the show with the bossa nova, which is like a fusion between samba and jazz. I love the bossa nova. Yeah. So there's a lot of history like involved in the show. There'll be a dancer in costumes tomorrow, like beautiful costumes. She's a wonderful dancer too.
How long is this event last tomorrow night?
Tomorrow is 45 minutes on.
45 minutes?
Yeah. We are part of a big program from Latin and Caribbean culture that the History Museum is putting together. So, but the whole event is from 10 to 1. 10 to 1? That's what I was going to ask. But our presentation will be in the main theater that I forgot the name right now. I forgot the name. The main
now,
theater.
Do they have information on that on their website as well?
Yeah, website. There are links like on my website. You can find us like also on social media like Facebook or with Instagram. There's so many.
Yeah, I you know what? I'm with you. You know, if it wasn't for her, I wouldn't be on half of the things that we're on. But it's like, and because of what we do, that we're on it.
Like me too.
So you started at a young age, and it seems like this is kind of a little bit of a spiritual thing too with the music. Tell me a little bit about that. How much is the spiritual side of this played not only with your music but with your own life?
I think that comes with you already, you know, like with your DNA, your soul. It's all together with that. Like, if you're like very humanistic, like you're gonna be good human being. You know, like if you tend to be to other side, you're gonna be like that. That comes with you. That's the way I feel. And my neighborhood was half black and half white, so there was a lot of Afro-Brazilian culture in my upcoming when it was growing up. And then we shared the drums, like we shared together. I started seeing like this social difference when I moved over here. They started seeing like this black and white difference that's right in your face. Now, there's subtle, there's some too, but subtle. But when I was a kid, I didn't feel that. No, to me, like we are equal, like we grow up. No, we're poor. We're in the neighborhoods and the hoods, but no, we share the culture. Like there was not a big difference being black.
Well, you know what? So how many instruments do you actually play? You're talking about percussion, and I saw you brought something that's not percussion.
Yeah.
That's how many instruments do you play?
Well, the called bateria. Bateria is the drum session of the samba school. Like the 400 drummers there, and they are separate in groups. I would say like there's like 10 to 12 drums, but a little tambour like this, there are like 80 of them. So like when they play together, it's called tambourine. They play together is really loud and make solos on that. There's like lines designed for those, and every year is different. Every samba school is different. So like it's a big process of creation there, and they call the biggest party on earth like for a reason, because it is the biggest party on earth. Not like it's, I don't know if they have a way to put footage on that like later, like and that's what it is. So there's those 12 instruments. I play those 12 instruments, and I teach because for a while, like I was going to Europe, like in teaching groups in Europe as well, doing workshops over here, like even in Brazil, like I did some workshops in Brazil. So those instruments from the bateria, from the percussion session called batucada, I know well all of them because I teach them. You know? And there's always a lead instrument called repinique. I know there's a lot of foreign words over here. Repinique, yes. That's the lead instrument on that. So like you lead out the other instrument because it's very high pitch. You hit with one drumstick in your right hand, and the left hand you slap that instrument. You know, I can send you pictures later or something. So that one over there, like I'm good on that one over there because you need to be good on that because you're gonna lead a lot of people when you're doing that. You know? So and from that, like there's some strings instrument that I play called berimbau. It's an African guitar that's a one single string with a gourd attached on that. But if you
one string,
but if you slide the string, like you have notes over there.
Oh, okay.
So you can play like little, it's called berimbau, and there is a martial art associated with that instrument called capoeira. Sorry about all the foreigner names over here, like in terms,
No,
but it's what it is.
I'm intrigued.
Yeah.
I've never seen that instrument.
And the one that I played, that I've been playing, like when I was 30 years old, and I started the Chicago Samba School back in Chicago, I said, I'm going to be a musician. But I was 30 years old when I decided to be a musician. So
you
then
said 3?
30.
Oh, 30. Okay.
30 years old. I was 30 years old when I was like, I'm going to be a musician.
It's all right.
So like
Colonel Sanders started at 69, so you're good. 30 is good.
So like I went to Brazil and I took a lot of classes and stuff like this, knowing that's what I do today. This is the only melodic instrument. It's funny. This guitar is from Portugal, and I was in Portugal a couple of years ago. So I'm gonna find great players over there. Nobody plays this guitar in Portugal anymore, but in Brazil, like the whole country played this guitar. It's called cavaco or cavaquinho, which means a little piece of wood. Cavaco, a little piece of wood, and then. The ukulele was made out of this guitar over here, but as you can see,
I was going to say it looks like a ukulele.
Yeah, the body is pretty much the same, but no, this like
the fretboard.
The guitar, the strings are metal, iron, steel. Steel guitar, and the ukulele are nylon string.
Gotcha.
Right? And the way of playing too, because this one of it, can I play a little bit?
Yes. And what's the name? Is there a name to this song?
No, just give you like a small idea. Just have an idea to see it come like that.
I thought Kelly was going to break out in some little bit of dancing because she hears songs to get her moving. She starts to dance.
But you play melodic stuff too, like that. So that's like, thank you.
Very
That was on
good.
vacation.
MoAcyr Marchini right there. Awesome.
So,
I know it's like it was. I felt like I needed a glass of wine or a pina colada or something like that.
So that's what the group tried to blend a little, like a lot of instrumental. This style that I'm playing with is called choro, cry. It's a Portuguese funny story. Like this is real story. Napoleon Bonaparte, like in 1807, invaded Portugal.
Okay, yeah.
So the whole royalty fled to Brazil, afraid of him. Everybody was afraid of Napoleon back then. So he went to Brazil and brought like everything with him, the whole royalty and the musicians, because they were having a lot of parties there. And the hip musicians that was playing their parties was the polka musicians. So those polka musicians went to Brazil, and there, like there was no music before, besides the drums, the African drums. So the African drums is like a fusion with polka music, and originated this style of music called choro, choro.
That is so interesting.
Yeah.
I know. Music, it tamed Napoleon's heart. He had to take it with him.
Yeah.
So that is
Yeah.
so, yeah.
Like
Yeah.
it really just calms the soul. Now, head banging music doesn't do it for me, but music, and especially the playing live of it, it's so soothing and relaxing to be able to hear, somebody play out.
Oh, I know. And you play very well. So you started when you were 30.
Yeah.
And now you're doing all these different bands. You're flying back from Chicago. You're doing up here in the Midwest. We're just thrilled to have you here today. We have what we do like a question of the day. And Kelly, you want to ask him what that is?
Well, we have a poll question.
A poll question this time, yeah.
Well, we have a question as well, but we didn't quite get deep into the subject as we wanted to. And asking the question, do you have any children?
I do. I have 2, and I have 5 grandkids.
Well, you might be able to chime in a little bit, but we were kind of laughing because we were wondering, when do your kids finally, what we call, get off the payroll? We're constantly taking care of everything for them, and they get quite used to it.
Yeah.
And then they stay in college forever, because the longer they stay in college, the more you might take care of them. So we're like, when do you should there be like a straightforward, when you're 18, you're on your own, but that doesn't seem to happen.
Yeah.
And then we have a great destination that we're going to be talking about that's haunted. And so we're kind of wondering, do people believe in ghosts? Do you believe in ghosts? And what is it like in Brazil? Do you feel that their spiritual forces are out there and around us?
I think so. I don't know what the connection with about the kids and the ghosts,
Yeah,
but anyway.
we had 2 conversations.
I'll connect them.
So we're going to go with the kids first. So
Let's go there.
Yeah.
So
I can
it's
connect them.
being from different cultures. So at what point do you finally cut off the kids?
Well, early, like they were teenagers, like we always ask him to do some babysitting, to mow grasses from the neighbors, like, because I went to school, I paid for my school when I went to school, and they said, like, listen, like, I'm not gonna be working the rest of my life to pay school for both of you,
Right.
just have good grades, like, you don't need to work, like, you can go like all the way, finish high school, like, have good scores, like, and then you're probably gonna get like a scholarship, and my son did.
Oh, that's
My daughter didn't. So
There's always that one.
yeah, but she always like into race cars, like, and then she want to have her car. And he was very like he's an engineer, and she's still going to school. Like, she's 40 years old, she's still going to school.
Oh,
But
wow.
she started doing like accounting, and she didn't on and off.
Trying to figure out what
Start
she
having
wants to do.
kids before, like, have a diploma. Before getting a job and stuff like that. And she knew better. But I know, like, you try to be supportive of that. But
Right.
to me, was my philosophy. Like, since like a young age, they knew they was not going to pay for their college.
Does the family, or is anyone else involved in music?
No, just me.
Yeah, I was just going to ask that.
Oh, okay, sorry.
No, you're good. I was going to.
We do actually, Logan chimed in and clapped and said how talented you are. So it looks like he's also a very big fan of yours.
Yeah, I love him too. Like, we're together some parties. He's really good friends with Rebecca, which is the singer of the band.
That
Like,
he did mention that
yeah.
she's amazing as well.
Yeah.
You were talking
Yeah.
about her.
yeah, so like because this happens. If I had money, if I had a job that I had money, we would pay for the school, of course, no, but I didn't have. No, back in Chicago, even though I came from working the PBS, I was a producer on the PBS in Brazil. When I went to Chicago, I started working in the kitchen, doing everything there, like making pizza, salad, dishwashing, everything. So, and from there, I thought my English was a little better, but it wasn't. So it took me a while until I started walking with my own legs, and speaking English properly. And even today, I know that I have a very heavy accent, but understand and I
But it's
write
very
well.
good.
Thank you.
Yeah, no, I
We
mean,
could go over to your country and start speaking your language.
Oh,
So
but
we admire anybody that is
Oh
able
my gosh.
to take on the
Yeah.
English language and speak more than one. So
Yeah.
we can't say anything about your accent.
and music is the universal language, right?
Music has this magic, it's like bring people together. You always have like a romantic song that relates to a person. There's so much, and some music calms you down. Like there's many factors, and the whole industry is a big industry as well. Provide a lot of jobs. And if you look the history of music exists for 30,000 years, 40,000 years. They're doing flutes with bones and stuff like that. But the music pretty much took off the last 3 centuries, the 3 last centuries, because the church had the control of the music. And then the music started getting more popular with Bach and some other. Lutero, I think, was the one who made the music a little more popular, more accessible to people. But it was a sacred thing. It was something only for the church before.
So you're so well educated, it seems like, in the music history. So was that some of the courses that you took, was music history?
No. And my thing was straight in advertising, like how to sell product, how to take advantage of people, stuff like that.
So have you used that? Have you used that in your music career, your marketing?
No, I don't. But it's good to sell the band. Like I know how to
Right.
sell and how to charge too. It's not only to sell, I have to sell and charge properly. They have to
Right.
do the two things. So it helps a lot. Though, like I never have a degree in advertising, but I never work with product. I think I said that before to you. Like I always work with ideas because I was working for the PBS. So like I feel like I feel good about that. Like not having to sell cigarettes for kids or something. Or,
So you have so give me an idea to sell our show.
I saw a promo like online. It's beautiful on YouTube. It was nice.
Oh,
I
thank you
think
very
that's the way. Yeah,
Thank
that's
you.
the way.
Thank you. Yeah,
Yeah.
it looks like Logan also was off the payroll.
At 14.
At Fort, wow, that's
Oh.
really
That
young.
totally helped.
14. I wish I could
Yeah.
have had that luck.
Yeah.
It was an exciting moment.
Let me go back then to your question about the spiritual.
Yes.
Brazilians are very spiritual, and there's like, there's this whole. There was like Indians over there are living there for 13,000 years until the Portuguese arrived 500 years ago. And they brought the Africans there too, or another spiritual like continent.
Yeah,
So like all the mix of those elements over there, like make Brazilian people very spiritual. Because like I'm pretty much European, like my grandparents were from Italy and Spain, but I was born there in Brazil. Like I said, like we're on the street, like playing the drums. So like I get all those elements from them too. Like so I became this person. And then sometimes I'm living over here now, but why I was born like in Brazil? Like in the middle of that. No, that's a big question. How come you were born here? So many places in the world, but. That's a very spiritual. Yeah, I don't have an answer for that. Okay, but just to.
If you did, that would be really amazing.
It would be wonderful.
Maybe
That'd be
maybe a long series of shows and that if we all knew we don't have those answers.
No.
I don't know if I believe in ghosts. But I spiritual like forces. I do. For like a force of praying. Like we combine like a direct like energy, like thoughts and stuff. Like I believe a lot on that.
Yes.
And I believe like protection too, because as your brain sleeps, your soul is still there. Like you wake up in the morning, connect everything again, and our life is gonna go all the way like that. So I believe a lot. Though I don't have a religion today. But I passed through a bunch of them. But somehow I got disappointed or disinterested. But that's what I'm agnostic today. So that's
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, let me ask you this question too. We'll get back not on the ghost, a little bit on the ghost thing, because what we're doing.
Another minute. Well, we make sure
Real quick.
before we go out. as
Yes,
well.
let's do that then. Let's do that. We'll talk off air about the ghost.
We have time for another question. We have 2 minutes.
So what I wanted to ask you is, in where you came from when you grew up, what we're doing is a road trip that's taking us to places that were haunted or have ghost places. So is there anything over there that has a story of hauntings?
I don't know. We don't have Halloween, for example.
Right,
We
but I'm
don't
talking like
celebrate,
a place that maybe has a story behind it.
I
that was
do
kind
have
of,
something, but it happened to me when I was an adult. Like in Bahia, state of Bahia, is the northeast of Brazil. It's a straight line from Africa. So the Portuguese the ships on cruise, and went straight to Bahia, Brazil. There, there was two eyes. Like I was like looking some sanctuary over there, and I saw this energy coming up from there. But it was the African religion, what's called Iemanjá, one of them.
In the
And
shop.
the other one, but they are gods from Africa. So there was a little sanctuary for them over there, and I was looking at night. There was some candles, and this beautiful energy came from there. And then I said, like, wow, I don't even know how to take it. No, but it was good. It was something like this, fill my soul, and I really enjoyed that. That's the one time that happened. I remember something like. But another thing too that I remember, like that, having like a good like saint or a protector, like something sometimes something really bad could happen to you, but this thing pull your body a little bit so the things pass by. And would some other people happen to get the person in full? So, and you see that happen all the time. So I remember a bunch of times that happened to me. So I feel like a angel, guardian angel.
Guardian angel?
Yeah, so that's I believe a lot on that. And that
Yeah,
happens to me
absolutely.
many times. Be in situations that was very dangerous, and somehow I got pulled off like that, like safe, like with no problem. So
Great.
well, Mo Marchini, we appreciate you being here. You've given
Thank
us some spiritual feelings today with your music and
Thank
how
you.
you've
They should
enlightened
definitely
us.
take us to break.
Yeah, so you can take us to
Yeah.
break. So play us a little music out as we go to break.
Will take us out as soon as he's ready to go ahead and let go to that top of the hour.
Take us out.
Well, this is a song of mine. What if I see you for the first time? Look in my eye and say, would you like to come with me? What if, since you like me too, you agree and say, besides your arms, I want something else, a piece of your mind. Ooh. What if I say it's alright for now? You look so sensational. For the mind is that some delay. Have a keys anyway. But let's start it today. Aren't you glad it's Tuesday?
That was fabulous. Thank you
Thanks
so
so
much.
much.
We
Thank you.
appreciate you being here today on the New City Show as our first Soul Strings guest.
Thanks so much. I appreciate being here.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, don't forget to log on like www.sambabone.com.
Yes, in the History Museum tomorrow, correct?
Tomorrow noon. Yes.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right. Well, you are Gordon. You're first Soul Strings here.
First
so-
Soul Strings, yes.
Awesome. All right. We're going to take it to a break.
Thank you so
Be
much.
sure to back
Thank
us
you.
here at
Thanks so much.
lootandco.com or 590, of course, AM right here at the Loot Information Station with the In Your City Show.
Thank you.
You know, they're truly making big smiles happen is what I would want to say all over St. Louis. Dr. Otto with Otto Orthodontics is absolutely fabulous. It's a family-owned business. It's a woman-owned business. Dr. Otto is absolutely lovely along with her team. And if you've been thinking about boosting your smile, now is the perfect time. Dr. Otto and her amazing team offer free consultations. They have the latest in orthodontic care, whether it's Invisalign, braces, whitening, or even Botox touch-up. They really have you covered with a faster, more comfortable, personalized treatment. And their places where you go is absolutely gorgeous to walk into as well. And what's even cooler is they have offered the opportunity that if you are listening to the show and you mention in your city's show, you're going to get $1,000 off your treatment. And that's
awesome.
a huge deal because,
Yeah.
you know, even though insurance covers, they don't cover everything and it can be quite expensive. They're the #1 Invisalign provider with 5 locations, Creve Coeur, De Pere, St. Charles, and Wentzville. And they accept most insurances, which is awesome. And they have interest-free payment plans, which is really nice too if you do need to make payments, because it can be really expensive when you need, you know, especially if you're needing heavy dental care.
Let me say this.
But
Their locations are beautiful.
they are.
They're just amazing. It's like it's like when you go there, it's like it's a day spa. And
Except they're working on your teeth.
but listen, check this out, kids. Listen up, kids.
I like this.
They got a candy wall.
That keeps you coming back.
They got a candy wall. Yeah. Thanks for letting us fix your teeth. And now we're gonna get preventive.
I love it's like those little the holders that have a bunch of candy. in
It's
it.
awesome.
So much
Yeah.
fun. Yeah. So remember that. Mention, of course, the In Your City when you call, and that's $1,000 off your treatment. She has earned the A-list awards, local awards. Her patients absolutely trust her, and she takes what she does very seriously. So visit ottoortho.com. Book your free consultation, and doctor will help you with your smile and your confidence. And we do know a few people that have taken that finally, even later in life, like at the age in their 60s, and have decided to get their teeth, you know, fixed
Right.
and covered. They never, I mean, I know 2 people, and they never smiled because their teeth were, you know, sadly,
Right.
some people aren't gifted with straight, beautiful teeth. And they both have teeth now, and you know who I'm talking about, because I won't
Yeah.
mention on air their names, so that,
But-
but they both have.
But they're
have-
great people. But because
they
they
do is
didn't
smile.
smile, you thought they were just kind of grumpy all the time, and they're not. It's just that they were insecure, right?
Yeah,
But
so they're
it
smiling
brings
all the
confidence.
time.
Yes,
So
absolutely.
Otto Orthodontics, ottoortho.com. Find out more and let them help you get your smile back. So now we have been waiting. We actually met this lovely woman, and we're going to bring her in because it is the hot seat time. Take us there, right? Grant. So Judy was on our show in this location, but we were over in the radio side in the radio room, not in our amazing podcast studio here that we have. And she had literally just got out of prison at that time. Shannon Norman was her attorney who believed in her, and she was a 2-year-old mom of 2, successful. She's 32, was a successful business owner in Springfield, Missouri, when she was convicted of capital murder. I mean, what a scary, you know, title, right? To have,
Can't even
to have
imagine.
that happen
Yeah.
to you. Back in 1982, she maintained her innocence, of course, throughout her incarceration, asserting that her involvement in the crime was misrepresented. After serving 36 years, so she's 32, she has children, little children, 36 years in prison. Her sentence was commuted in 2017 by the then Governor Eric Greitens. One of the good things he did, right? Leading her to release. So since then, Judy's become an advocate strong advocate for criminal justice reform and a shared experience for her memoir. And she's here with us today. She's got a new book out right now, When the Light Finds Us, and also an upcoming movie. So let's bring Judy to the show, talk to her, and find out what's going on in her life since her last time that she visited us, which was quite some time ago. So welcome to the show, Judy. We're so glad to have you. You look lovely.
Well, thank you, Kelly and Gordon, for having me on. This is such a treat. I've been looking forward to this, waiting for the book to get done. And of course, as you know, it was a 6-year project. So it's been that long since I've seen you.
Yeah, absolutely. Can you show the cover of the book, or does Grant have to do that for just so we can see it? It's such a beautiful cover. That's really something to try to figure out. How do you make a beautiful cover on a book that's a memoir of something that was so devastating in your life, right? I mean, you're now a blooming flower, that's for sure. And every time I see you, and the last time I saw you was at the event Become, that we, all enjoy. It's, hundreds of women that come together to learn, motivate, and inspire one another. And that's where I saw you. And every time I see you, there is literally never a moment that you aren't filled with a hug and joy, and being alive. And you could be bitter and angry, and you're not.
No. Kelly, I always said there's 2 things you can do with anger. You can either get better or you can get better. And I choose better over bitter. Yeah. Because that is such a positive energy. You can use anger as a motivator. You can use it to reach your goals. You can use it for so many positive aspects versus negative. So why not choose better?
You're so right. So Judy, could you share with us, the circumstances that let us know what led to the conviction, and of course, being in there and maintaining your innocence through that all? You'd think you'd be, get broken through all of this. Can you share a little bit with us?
Yes, what led to my conviction was being set up by someone that I totally trusted. That was my boyfriend at the time. He had been in the ministry. He was a real estate broker. He was very intelligent, very suave and debonair, very, easy to talk to. I would be able to open up to him. He had asked me questions, about my past, and as a battered woman for 12 years. And so I felt comfortable opening up to him and telling him my vulnerabilities. And, I didn't ask a lot of questions then, because I had yet had any therapy for my abuse all those years and being sexually molested as a child. So I wasn't one to ask questions. I was rather passive in a relationship, but I'm on fire in business. And so it was just the opposite. I could do so good as an entrepreneur, but I could not, I felt like I had no power in a relationship. And I learned to find out that so many people are addicted to different things. And my addiction was love. I had no other addictions, but love. And that's
all kind of love.
Yes. But what led to my conviction after I was set up to take the fall for this murder, we had one attorney represent both of us. We were, it was a serious conflict of a constitutional issue, because he could not adequately represent one without letting the other take the fall. So you could not testify to the truth because it would hurt the other client. So therefore, I could not testify to the truth or anything that transpired during that whole incident. And I was convicted. In the meantime, he was seeing 2 other criminal attorneys on the side that I was unaware of. And he hired them. As soon as I was convicted, he fired that attorney that represented both of us and hired the other 2 that he had been seeing.
Now, Judy, that law has changed, right? Where you can't hire the same attorney, can't represent 2 people, correct?
Correct, absolutely correct. And thank God, even though my sentence wasn't overturned, because the federal court said it would cost the state too much money, so they could not correct a wrong, and because it would make it retroactive, and other cases would come up after mine, after they ruled on mine, and cost the state too much money, so they couldn't do anything.
Sure.
What?
Here, go ahead.
Oh, no. So I don't know if you mentioned this yet, but so now you became a paralegal?
Absolutely. Yes, I became a paralegal, graduated with honors because I had to understand the law that got me there. And I had to understand, I had to have deep therapy to understand why I did not see the red flags of what was occurring right before me. But I had only known the gentleman from April to July, and that's when the murder occurred. So it was a very short span that I even knew him. A lot of people just speculate that he just sought me out and was able to use my knowledge and my connections to do what he needed to do. So I hate to think that. I hate to admit to that, of course, but hindsight, I should have seen a lot of red flags, but I did not.
Sure, many of us miss red flags in so many instances. I mean, who thinks of something of that scale or magnitude, that can change your life forever by not noticing, those red flags. So
Correct.
36 years, that's a long time, Judy. What were some of the challenges that you faced?
Well, whenever I went to prison, he put a contract out on me immediately. So that was the first thing.
While you were in prison?
While I was in prison, because he feared me testifying against him in his trial, which he was acquitted of the murder.
Wow. And then having children and then having to see them. And I know some of the photos we just, of course, some of those that are watching may not know that we did a beautiful feature
Yes.
as well on you in our women's issue. And so that allowed me to be able to see a lot of photos and really kind of see you in that element of that time, with your kids coming to see you, your family. I mean, the amount of stress that it must have put on your kids. And then, you had animal and puppy love day, I guess, that helped. You're in this place. We can't even imagine. Here you are, so lovely, out as an author now of a book and a movie upcoming. But, that had to be such a challenge, getting used to watching them grow up.
Absolutely. It absolutely was. It was probably besides living a loving family, me being the oldest of 8 siblings, my children were just literally torn out of my arms, and I did not, it was devastating to not be with them. I was just a middle-class mother of 2 children. I had my daughter in dance classes and acrobats, everything you could imagine. And I worked from the time I was 16. I worked for the court administrator at the time of Jackson County, and I never, ever, ever expected something like this to happen. I believed in our system.
Yeah. We do till it fails us, and unfortunately it fails so many times for so many.
So we showed the book a minute ago. What inspired you to write this book?
Well, after telling during my years of incarceration, I had never really, I've never talked to media about it or about the case or anything. And so after I got out, I started telling people, my situation, and they started asking questions. And, they said it just affected people in such a positive way to give them courage to deal with what they were going through. And they urged me and begged me to please write a book. They said my situation would help so many people, male and female. And it's even helped teenagers that have talked to me about themselves reading it. And so that encouraged me to write it. And I wanted it to be very real. I wanted it to have the feelings that I had during that time. So I was very picky. So was my writer out of New York. And he was he and I were very methodical about making sure the readers actually felt what was going on at the time in the book through the pages.
Well, you're very involved, as you're saying. So do you have a certain, and maybe you can't say yet, but when you started the book and you could see this coming into action, was there someone that you could see playing your role, and have they picked that person?
Well, we're still in the process of talking to producers, so we're not sure yet which, how we're going to go or whom with. But different producers and directors have mentioned Charlize Theron. They've mentioned Jennifer Lawrence.
Wow.
And
Will
yeah,
they have to have two maybe, because will they have to have one when you're younger and then one
yes.
in the release, sort of where they do in movies, have two different, people?
Yes, and they mentioned Rachel McAdams also from The Notebook. So I don't know.
She's one of my favorites as well. I mean, it's terrible, absolutely awful what she had to go through. I mean,
Right.
not any of us, I don't care, could ever even imagine what you went through, what that's like, how terrifying, how just excruciatingly painful something like that can be. But then now here you are, and there's going to be, somebody portraying your life and watching that, go into action. I would imagine you'll be on set during that as well, right?
Yes, I can't wait. I can't wait to see this in living color. Yes.
Have you had, let me ask you this, because this is interesting to me. Since your books come out, and I guess these books could be in prisons as well, have you had other inmates reach out to you?
I have. Go ahead. I'm sorry, Gordon.
No, since you've written this book and since they know your story, have you had other inmates reach out to you?
There have inmates have reached out. However, we haven't got it in paperback yet, and that's something the publisher would have to do because hardbacks aren't allowed in prisons. So we're still trying to figure out that process and how to. I would like to just donate the books to the prison for the offenders and have it in the library, because there's so much in there to teach offenders how to be moms behind bars, how to create programs to help other people, how to become an advocate for each other, and how to help others, because that's our purpose, why we were created to begin with. And I was given the gift and blessed to be able to find that purpose.
Wow. And I guess you kind of mentioned that a little bit when you said why you would love to have your book and be able to donate those, because I'm sure that the conversations and the things that go on inside, they're facing their own challenges, as many of us out here, and there's many women that are in relationships that shouldn't be, maybe can't get out of them, or there's many shelters that are out there where women are seeking help. Is there some advice, some words of encouragement based on probably much larger than most out there from what happened to you? Is there any words of encouragement that you would want to share from your experience for those other women?
Yes.
Daughters.
Sure. Yeah, yes, there is a lot of advice in the book of ways to do it. One thing that I started doing in order to build my faith and know that God was with me and this was going to come to fruition is I made a vision board. And I had to see my faith in action on that board. And I saw it all the time. I made it out of 2 legal pads, the back cardboard pieces, and it was very elementary, looking, and not the prettiest thing in the world, because I had to cut little pieces out of newspapers and magazines that we had that were thrown away in the library. But I would post things I wanted to happen. I wanted a commutation. I wanted time served. I wanted a pardon, which that is really hard for a lifer to ever get. I think I'm probably maybe the first one in Missouri that's ever gotten one. I'm not sure. I believe possibly I am, especially one that was commuted that day and immediate release by a governor in the first term, his first year. So all of that actually made history in Missouri. Yeah. But there's so much good advice in there. And I would like to tell people, you may not have the faith at the time to go through what you need to go through to get out of the situation, but put it in living color in front of you and let your faith build and let your dreams build around that vision board. And you will have put courage on there, put faith on there, put hope on there, put freedom on there, because everything I put on that board has come to fruition except for my jet and a sports car.
Just keep them on
Keep
there.
them on there.
You're moving in that direction. So I think you're going to be good. You got the movie. When is it projected that the movie? So let me ask this first. First, how can they get your book? And that's available now.
Yes.
And then when are you projected to be able to, that the movie is going to launch?
Well, we have, where they can get the book is at all major bookstores and on Amazon. They can go to www.judyannhenderson.com. That's my website. And as far as the movie, we are still working on getting producers that are interested in doing it. So, that's a hard project. That's, you really got to work on that one. I thought 6 years was long. I hope this one isn't going to take that long, but I'm not going to give up. I'm making a new vision board, as a matter of fact. Because movie is on there, and the book was on there, and a movie's on there. So I know that has not come, that hasn't come true yet, but it will.
It truly does happen. I have many vision boards, found a couple behind the bed, and they can't believe how many things. We actually found it when we were looking for stuff downstairs, and it is crazy how many things,
She had a gray washer and dryer, and when me and Kelly got together, and we lived together. Guess what I brought over, Judy? A set of gray washer and dryers. It was on her vision board before she ever met me.
And there's so many things on there. Just looking at it, it's absolutely hilarious. Looking at it, seeing so many things come true. I'm so appreciative that we met you. So glad the first time, and just watching you literally bloom from the first time that we became friends, having you on our radio show a while back, and then knowing now, wow, a book is developed. You deserve everything that's happening to you to be able to enjoy your life. I'm so glad that I love seeing the pictures of you with your daughters. They're grown up now. And I guess you have grandbaby now?
I have 9 grandbabies.
9 of them. Wow.
9 grandkids.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, well, keep enjoying life. I can't wait to get my hands on one of your books as well, so that I can read it from front to back rather than just parts of it that we've been getting. But we're very thankful that you are free, enjoying life. And I hope that you keep waking up every day with the smile that you have on your face. But before you go, we have to ask all of our guests our poll question, right?
Yes.
So, do you believe in ghosts? Do you believe in ghosts, Judy?
Okay. Do I believe in ghosts?
Well, that's our poll question for the day.
Oh, do I believe in ghosts? I believe in spirits.
Yes, that's what well, I guess maybe I should have worded it correctly. Whatever. We don't have that flying around. I guess. Well, maybe.
Yeah, but I believe in spirits. I believe that my mother comes to me in different ways, and she come to me as it's in the book through a piece of chicken. So you'll have to find that part after she passed away.
All right.
I can't wait to see that one. Can you show the book one more time before we leave? I'm sending you a hug through the airwaves here, Judy, and thank you for visiting and sharing your story with us. It's a big thing to be able to talk about your story, and you talk about it with a smile, even though. So the strength you have is incredible. That's
faith, though. That's your faith, right? You have a whole different outlook on when you have faith in your life.
Yes, absolutely. You are so right, Gordon. Whenever you let God guide you and you don't miss his signs, then you're doing good.
Everything's good. Well, Judy Henderson, her memoir is out, When the Light Finds Us. Of course, this is a woman who spent 36 years incarcerated for a murder she did not commit, that she is innocent, and she's free today. She's sharing her story to help others, and we appreciate you taking some time with us in our new room in your city. You are our first virtual guest, so we have Kevin first for every day of our show. So we had no glitches during it. So we're so happy because
thanks to Grant, our board op.
Thanks to Grant, our amazing board operator, because it is, everything's new, and we're trying to even get comfortable in our new room. So everything, as you know, we have a new life starting here, but we appreciate you. Thanks for spending some time with us.
We've got to do a picture on someplace. You got to have a wall where all your guests are on there.
We've got to do this right now. Hang on, Grant. Don't take her off yet. I'm shooting a picture at our TV right now. Gordon, get one of your camera because the lights are all in my way.
I got
right
it.
now.
I got it. I got it.
So we've got a picture that we can share. There we go. Smile.
I love you too. Thank you so much for having me. It's always such a joy to see you and talk with you and to talk with Gordon. I don't get to see him as much as I do you, but it was
we
good to
love
see you
Gordon.
again,
Well,
Gordon.
it's great to see you.
Thank you for staying
you.
so positive through it all and sharing your time with us. So Judy Henderson, thank you so much. Mwah.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
We'll be back more right here from the In Your City show. We are going to have our first restaurant as a guest here. So we're going to be talking with Bethany. Of course, it's Budde. So Bud or Budde. We'll find out. Bethany, she is the owners of SqWires Restaurant. She'll be in. We're going to talk about when we come back as well, before we meet with Bethany, about
And AJ, I think AJ's with her.
no, AJ's not
Oh,
coming.
he's not coming?
But
Okay.
we're going to talk about our destination, our road
Yes.
trip that we
Road
went.
trip, road
Tuesday
trip.
Road Trippin. So we're going to tell you about a great place. And of course, if you like places that are haunted, like Gordon does, he actually tries to go find them when we find out that we're in a
I
place
do.
like that. We don't want to bring them home with us. We're going to talk about that road tripping, and then we'll be back with our last guest for the day, talk about SqWires, and maybe she brought something delicious with her.
I hope so.
I'm starving.
I'm starving too.
Happy hour. We don't get appetizers in here. So, and actually, yesterday we had champagne and openetta, but there's just water in here right now. I think we need a cocktail.
Yes. All right. Well, we'll be right back. You're listening to the In Your City show. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the In Your City show. I'm Gordon Montgomery, along with my beautiful wife and my
Ooh.
co-host.
Going in the
Kelly
beautiful
Lamb.
in there.
Yes. In Your City show right here at 590. I got to be careful when I say 590 because you know where I want to go with it from the old days.
5:90 a.m. It's the new
Five-
KLIS.
KLIS, yes. But you know what? Me and Kelly, we get to do a lot of things with the magazines that we have and the radio shows and the podcasts. We get to do a lot of things. One of the things that we really enjoyed doing was taking piano lessons and taking them at Lacefield Music in Chesterfield. Lacefield Music, Dwayne is one of the owners there. And he's also the keyboard player or the organist at Busch Stadium for the Cardinals, which he's invited me to come up and hang out with him in the, what do they call it? The Roost up there. And that would be so much fun. I would love to do that sometime. But what I'm going with this is we took piano lessons and Kelly learned how to play the piano in like a week. In 1 week, she was already playing the piano. The system that they have in place for getting piano lessons is so unique and it's so easy to do. We learned how to play the piano. I kind of knew, I always learned by ear, and it was a little difficult for me because it was like you had to read music, and I've never read music. So,
Plays by ear.
but I always wanted to read music because I wanted to be able to just pull some sheet music out and play something, right? Instead of trying to do it the old school way like I've always done it. But what's really cool about it is they have a huge selection of grand pianos, uprights, baby grands. They also have the disc, I always say it wrong, disclavier. The disclavier is a keyboard piano that is electronic, but you can hook up a iPad to that. And you actually can record to the iPad from the disclavier, but it will also give you all these songs that will teach you how to play them, but give you backup accompaniment with that as well. So you got like a whole band playing with you when you learn how to play it. Another great thing about that is it will play itself. So you can entertain your guests and at a party and have the piano playing in the background, which I think is really kind of cool. If you buy a piano, you will get piano lessons for life. Piano lessons for life. So make sure you go to Lacefield Music and go down there, see Dwayne, and have him hook you up with a piano and lessons.
How old you are for life.
For life? Yeah.
You started 90.
99-year-old guy goes in, Dwayne's like, I'm giving you piano lessons for life, buddy.
That's a great deal. Oh, well, I gotta mention, so yesterday we talked about style.
Yes.
Monday styling.
Yep.
And we talked about that the boho, the California, I guess cowgirl look is in, and it doesn't mean like
And what do you have on today?
Yeah, when I grew up, it was like jeans, belt buckle, or whatever. So I wore my
Wore that yesterday.
My white boots. I should have wore it yesterday. Yeah, and it's like a white ruffly dress, jean jacket, a little turquoise, and I didn't wear a straw hat, but you can kind of play it up any way you want. But that's kind of the new thing. And then of course the guys, we talked about that, but I forgot to mention why I was dressed looking like I don't know, going to a picnic country concert or something like that.
I love that look though.
I'm definitely comfortable. Let's put it that way. Should have had that yesterday since we had to go to KLIS baseball game right after the show.
And this is what we call what? My uniform, pretty much. It's like my daily uniform.
Well,
It's
I
like
keep calling it Bad Bunny, but it's actually Psycho Bunny.
Psycho Bunny. Yeah.
Psycho Bunny. Yeah. So cool, Jack.
So it's not Easter, it's actually Psycho
It's
Bunny.
Psycho Bunny. So today's Tuesday, of course, and it's Road Trippin' Tuesday, and we got a great destination. And in the studio with us as well, we want to say hello. We're sitting over there. We don't want to make sure everybody knows that Bethany Budde, now I've got the correct pronunciation, the owner of SqWires, which is an incredible restaurant, and is with us, and picnic a basket with her.
A picnic basket for her too.
So we are going to find out what's inside the picnic basket that we could probably use to go on our road trip destination, right?
I would think so.
Yeah, so absolutely. So kind of cool, sometimes we don't want to get on that airplane, right? We don't want to have to make all of those trips. We just want to go or I should say airplane stopover, layovers in airports. Maybe we just want to go somewhere for the day. So a great place to go is Eureka Springs, Arkansas. And you probably come back with a little bit of a twang when you go there.
Isn't it funny how your accent changes when you hang out for a while?
But just a road trip, it does. It just starts to happen.
You start talking like everybody else in the family. And
do you have some photos that you can show?
No.
Oh, so you didn't do your job, I take it.
I didn't have any road trip photos. Anybody didn't
yes,
send
you
me.
did.
Well, it's the wrong file.
Wow.
Wow, is right.
So that's what happens.
That's all right.
when
This
you're
is where you
a
people on the
business
radio
partner.
are going, yeah, see, yeah, we're
Yeah,
not missing out.
This
failed incredibly large right now because he should be showing about 6 photos that I sent to him of our destination.
Well, I
So,
will see if I can find them.
yeah. So you can take the scenic route. It's through the Ozarks. Roll down the winding, roads and that, and you can play one of your soundtracks, either haunted songs or fun songs, whatever floats your boat. But 1886, that's a long time ago. So I had a picture of this hotel, the Crescent Hotel and Spa, which actually looks spooky. Yeah, Julie said, nodding her head. It does. It looks spooky. It's known as America's most haunted hotel with sweeping mountain views inside a horse with historic charm, and they call the Killer Spa. So pretty cool place to be able to go to. And they've got things, the treehouse cottages, if you'd rather, stay off premises and you feel like maybe you don't want to, meet a ghost, I guess, or a spiritual force. Then there's, of course, things to do there, which I also sent pictures when you drive through Eureka Springs. What a cute, quaint town, very historical to be able to go through. The Grotto Wood-Fired Grill, the Keels Creek Winery, the Eureka Spring Coffee House, the Local Flavor Cafe, and of course, you loving food and being part of that. I would imagine you love when you go somewhere and be able to check out a new place. We could probably criticize it's something terrible, right? If Gordon goes to a concert, then he is absolutely 100% critiquing the lighting, the sound, everything. It's horrible to go to a music venue with him because he won't just listen to it like I will. He's finding everything either great or really wrong about it.
Eureka Springs is perfect.
Is it
There's
perfect?
so many places to pick and choose and critique.
Yeah, you've been there then. I have not, so now I'm really excited. And that's why I
It's a
pulled it, is I
great-
wanted something I haven't been to.
You do not have to go far to get
Yeah.
there, which is awesome.
Be able to enjoy it. So you can, of course, they have the historic downtown that I was talking about that Gordon is not able to show because he doesn't
I
have
will
that.
in just a minute.
Natural Springs, did you try that at all? The
We
natural
did not, but
springs?
that would be something I would like to do the next time.
Yeah,
Yes.
how much fun would that be? Just natural warm water that's supposed to invigorate and heal the body. That's at the Basin Spring Park, the Blue Spring Heritage Center, the Thorn Crown Chapel. It's one of the most beautiful architectural hidden gems, and we'll be talking about that tomorrow. We have a lot of secret city secrets. There we go, city secrets. See how we just found out I did send it to him.
Apparently she did.
City secrets that are in plain sight, but we don't know that they're there. We were talking about that the other day too. Is being a tourist in your own city or close by, how much fun that is. And then of course you could take the ghost tour to inside the Crescent Hills Hotel and Spa. So there's a road tripping for you, something close that you can do. Eureka Springs, and just go take the road to Ozarks or whatever. So let's take it to our guest who is here with us today, Bethany Budde, and really talk about SqWires Restaurant. And
I always love talking about
I
SqWires.
bet you do. So, they call it a lushly renovated Victorian factory space.
Yes, absolutely.
You are in the Lafayette Square area, right?
Yes.
They call that the Western Wire Factory.
Yes.
Because that SqWires means it's paying homage to wires.
Yep. The way that we spell it, SQ is for Lafayette Square,
Okay.
and Wires is because it was a wire factory.
Very cool.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about that. And it is one of the oldest neighborhoods, so it's got the whole feel, established in 1836. That's a long. You're right there
It
with
really
the hotel
is.
we were just talking about.
Exactly,
Is it
right?
haunted?
So a lot of my employees think that it is,
Really?
especially at night when they're there, because compressors go off and this is a big open air space. So you've got lots of sounds bouncing off of brick walls.
Mhm.
So yeah, it could be haunted.
So it could be. So no one's actually saw a little ooh come by them, but they feel it sometimes.
I think so.
It sounds of
Yes,
the air.
yes, absolutely. But it's a great building, and it's Lafayette Square, of course, is the oldest historic neighborhood west of the Mississippi.
Really?
It is, yes, and
really
and our
cool.
park as well, 30 acres. We have our house tour this weekend, which is amazing.
Tell us what that is.
Yeah, so We haven't had it since pre-COVID. So this is an annual house tour that's been going on since the 70s.
Oh,
So it's Saturday and Sunday, the home and garden tour. So you can come and you can buy tickets and you can walk around and see numerous houses and beautiful gardens.
and then it's right by
And
you where they can
It
come get
is,
something to eat, right?
absolutely, of course. Yep, yeah, we are right in the heart of things. We're in the business district and, proud to be a really big anchor there, but we are one of many wonderful establishments.
Mhm.
Okay. I'm so,
You're just so invested.
well, sometimes I get a little out of sync because I'm doing all the technical stuff here.
Well, tell us, how would you describe the experience of going into SqWires? What is someone the atmosphere? And we have to go.
Sure. So absolutely. So think about a kind of an old Victorian factory. So exposed brick, wood beams, 22-foot ceilings, just big open spaces, repurposed, lots of repurposing.
Love that.
Lots of recycled items that we use, lots of items from the original wire factory that we were able to reuse in the construction and the rehab that we did 24 years ago, probably 26 years ago and opened a couple years later. But it's, we're very American, very Midwestern, super fresh produce. We use the same 6 or 7 farmers that we've used for 24 years,
man.
in the seasons that we can use them. And this is one of them right now. Homegrown strawberries, fresh chicken. I mean, there's just spinach and collard greens, all those wonderful items that we get and can put into our menu. But it's a very, I would say, unique experience, but simple.
Mm-hmm.
And,
Perfect.
exactly. The space is great. And, just looking around and seeing things and walking the neighborhood, you can just, park there and kind of walk around and come in and have drinks or go to our market and have, a coffee beverage or some grab and go.
Goes along with our road trip.
It does.
This
right?
is
Yeah.
a destination
Come
as
on,
well.
bring your bags and your picnic basket and we will pack you up and you can go for your ride.
All right. So you got this amazing menu. Give me some of the greatest items that you have. Some of the ones that are the crowd favorites, the ones that are creating all the buzz.
Crowd favorites. Okay, so not only are we, kind of Midwestern meat, we are also vegetarian and vegan. So crowd favorites, 12-hour smoked brisket that we smoke on our patio every week.
So if somebody's doing that tour, they're going to be smelling that brisket and coming right over.
Very-
That's the thing
they
that always
could,
gets
yes.
me. It's like when
Yeah.
I smell
Yeah.
it. So
Yes.
we did the vegetarian thing for a while, right?
Okay.
And we did it for like what, a year or two?
2 years.
2
Okay.
years, right?
Sure.
And then all of a sudden,
You smell
one of our
something.
buddies had a barbecue,
That's exactly what
and
happened.
it was like, oh, that smells so good. It was the
It's
smell
like we
that
were
lured us
lying or
back.
there,
Next thing you know,
carnivore.
we're carnivores again.
There you go. Well,
we haven't gone back.
We not only smoke our brisket and our chickens, turkeys, vegetables, our salmon every week for our smoked salmon Benedicts and our smoked salmon display that we do for brunch every Saturday and Sunday. Salts and just different things throughout the year. So
Yeah.
there's a lot of really great ingredients for everybody.
All right, let's get past the main menu.
Okay, got it.
Let's get to the part where we know it's so full I can't eat another bite, but yeah, I got room for dessert.
Gotcha.
what
Grandma
do you have?
Buddy's hot milk sponge cake.
What?
Right now with fresh homegrown strawberries and whipped cream.
Say that again.
Yep.
No, I got to hear it again.
Grandma Buddy's hot milk sponge cake. It's not a hot sponge cake,
Never heard of
but
that.
it's made with hot milk.
Mm.
And it's my Grandma Buddy's recipe.
Wow,
She
did you
died
bring
in
that with you today?
1976. I did not.
What's
Yeah, I
wrong?
should.
Well, it might not
I know.
You're going to describe it to me and then not let me try it?
That's a question. Which of course we have lots of questions.
She's
but-
got lots of
No,
questions.
well, as being a former restaurant owner, Gordon also had a restaurant in his day.
I wouldn't call Subway sandwich a
Okay,
restaurant.
I know. I know. I had a
Let's put that on
restaurant.
the shelf right now. Yeah.
I was in that era a long time ago, and there weren't. If they were in California, which that sparked my idea. But the gluten-free and the vegetarian, I honestly, when someone came into the restaurant, it's how long ago it was, and said they were gluten-free, I wasn't quite sure what that meant. I'm not gonna
You
lie.
have to look at
I could do
Here,
that.
try this and see what
And
happens.
I had to go back to the chef in the kitchen because I'm like, that is.
Sure.
And then it's just started evolving. Do you find that in your years how that has rolled into play? Because you have this smoked meat and all these things, but you have these people that can't eat it, won't eat it.
Absolutely.
How has that been transitioning to really cater to everyone's food needs?
You know, so not only do we have the restaurant, we also have a pretty extensive banquet and catering facility.
Mhm.
And because of those two, we have so many people that have those special requests. Okay. And yeah, we transitioned. I can't say that it's always easy, but I can say that we do our best.
Sure.
But we also do have, I would say half of our menu is gluten-free.
Wow,
And,
that's a
and
lot.
it's labeled, and we even talk about that we can make these menu items gluten-free. We have vegetarian and we have vegan items as well. That some of those
Wonderful.
are even gluten-free.
A lot of us didn't, I mean, we didn't know what it was. We
Right.
didn't realize why we had a
Right.
stomachache all the
Right,
time.
exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
some of us don't, and as we get older,
Mhm.
it may not have been earlier, but we don't process it well, as we're
Sure.
aging that. So I just wanted to kind of, being a restaurant
Yeah.
owner, how do you transition?
Now it's
through
very
that?
easy. I mean, and it's something that's very normal right now for us.
Yeah. Is there a way that you're in the community, you're very involved, is there a way that you find yourself giving back to the community?
Absolutely. So of course, with what has just recently happened, this
Yeah.
past couple weeks, that was a big undergoing for us. I mean, right away we donated proceeds from our brunch that weekend, and our brunches are those 2 days are our biggest days. So it was a good impact for the community, and also we are still a drop off for items and things that we take a couple days a week. But we also have a wonderful neighborhood, and it is Lafayette Square, and it's a restoration committee, and it's a not-for-profit. So the beautification and the safety and the extra things that a neighborhood would do have to be, financed somehow. So we do a lot of donating in regards to that organization. Dining Out for Life is next week.
Oh my gosh,
This is our 24th year of donating.
that's
And
fantastic.
so it's like almost from day one. So
Yeah.
that's really important to us as well as the ALS Association.
I can see Courtney's over like, what's in the picnic basket?
I want to know.
He literally just keeps staring at it. He's losing it.
Well, our listeners that we're going to direct back to YouTube so you could see what it is.
Yes.
We want to see.
Yes. Yes.
Inquiring minds want to know.
It's picnic
Tell us what's
season.
in there.
Right? We have concerts in the park every other Saturday, starting this Saturday.
In Lafayette Square.
6 to 9. Yeah. So all the way through
Look, we missed
September.
out.
Yep. But
You're not
you
going
can-
to show me, are you?
Yes,
Okay. You want to take a peek?
Sure.
oh
Oh,
All right.
Lord have
We
mercy.
made house-made cookies.
my gosh, they're beautiful.
Aren't they lovely?
Oh,
And then
gosh.
we have.
Well, here, we got it.
We have the best.
Can you show them off?
Yes. Show
House,
them off.
look how big these things are.
We have 4
Oh my
kinds
gosh, they're so
that
heavy.
we bake
So heavy.
about 4
I
times a
don't
week.
gain any weight.
No, of
with
course
these,
not.
right?
Okay, what you
We
got here?
have
Beautiful.
so many craft beverages in our market. You can just pick up a grab and go. Yummy. That's a margarita with pineapple.
So it's happy hour. It's so beautiful.
Local cheese.
Wait a minute, what's it say? It says
It says on the rocks,
Jalapeno.
premium cocktails, jalapeno pineapple margarita.
jalapeno. I love jalapenos in my margarita. For
Well,
the first
You're
time.
going to take that home and you're going to enjoy it on your road trip
Oh.
while you're not driving.
Well, of course, right. I'm the passenger.
So we use local farms for
Mm.
our
I like
cheeses.
This is in your market.
It
So you have the
is.
restaurant, but you have
Yes,
the
we
market
do.
to go shopping.
Exactly.
Okay,
Yep.
fine.
And then also a lot of the products, a lot of the products that are in the market come from our kitchen,
Mm-hmm.
and a lot of the products in the market we use in our kitchen. So
Okay.
yeah, so it's a really good combination. Yep. So we've got
I
some
love
lovely cheeses.
cheeses.
We have
Smoked Gouda, one of my favorites. How'd you know?
okay. I
One of
think
your personal
it's
favorites.
gonna go really great with your white wine and basil
Oh my gosh.
crackers.
Yeah.
Look at that.
If our friends are watching right now, they're going, coming over.
So not only in that market, we also have local artists.
Mhm.
So we've got folks that make these beautiful towels.
How fun.
Candles,
By Monica Casey.
Yes, so she also plays music at SqWires.
Would you
about
like a
4 times
children's
week.
book in your market? Just
Yeah.
happen to have one right there. Oh, alum.
We have many books. We need to talk.
See it right there. I'm gonna send you home with one for
Okay.
sure, so that you have it. I
That's
would love to
great.
be in there.
Yes.
Can we ask you a question before we
Please.
have to? We're getting close. What has been your proudest moment? You know, here you have SqWires Restaurant, Lafayette Square. There's so many lovely things that are happening around you that you're doing and about the community. But is there something that just really keeps you inspired to keep doing what you're doing? That's your proudest moment?
I think being able to employ the number of staff that we can, I think that that's been really important. It was very challenging, you know, during COVID to,
Oh yeah.
you know, keep that staff and to keep them confident that they're going to have a job. So that was one really, that's been a passion of mine is making sure that we've got a staff that can make a living,
Mm-hmm.
pay their bills. And we could not do that business without them.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, that's just been, you know, I've said that I've had a lot of interviews and people have asked me a lot of those kinds of things. And I think that was one really important one. The other one is our daughter is our GM and she has worked for us.
Is that AJ who was
It
going
is
to come with
AJ,
you?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, she had to work
Hi, AJ.
tonight.
Sorry you missed.
And we have watched her, you know, be a busser and be a hostess.
Learn the
and,
ropes.
and now she's our GM.
Yeah, that's incredible.
A real proud moment.
SqWires Restaurant, Bethany Budde, the owner of the restaurant, spending some time with us, bringing a picnic basket with her.
Thank you
So
so
lots
much
of
for all
goodies.
the wonderful
And you
things.
You're welcome.
you have an
Can't wait to
event
try it.
space, market, restaurant, everything that someone could enjoy. You have that there at SqWires. So, of course, if they just put SqWires into the Google, they're going to be.
SQW.
Pardon me.
SQW.
SQW. If they put that, make sure you have that right, you know, and know it's Lafayette Square, the SQ. SqWires, they'll be able to find your
Yes,
restaurant. Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, someone else that I want to thank because it's the reason why that we get to be on every day is a business, St. Louis Closet Company, Jennifer Williams, who's become our friend. She's in all 3 of our magazines, Chesterfield, Clayton, and St. Charles County Magazine. She was on the cover of our magazine in last September for the style issue. She's going to be giving us some tips coming up this September. She's going to be on our show, also talking organization. I mean, there's something about being organized and, you know, just like your restaurant, you've got to have it organized, you know, to be able to function and stay calm within your business, because when it's a disarray, it is really hard to be able to do things. And having our closets done has been brilliant. People get their garages done. They get their offices, their kitchens. It's not a one size fits all. Jennifer and her team are fabulous. It's local. It's not a franchise, just like yourself. It is owned by a woman, run by a woman and her team. And she just does an incredible job. And we're so thankful to have her part of our show and look forward to her to be able to come in. She's got a strong heart for the community as well, gives back locally, does a big toy drive at Christmas, which is huge. And we're just really, we feel honored, as I'm sure, like you talk about your team, that personal journey with your team that you have, knowing people like Jennifer, you know, it's knowing how she treats her staff and her team and how much they love working for her, it just shines on the kind of person she is and what she gives to the community. So as she says, from chaos to calm, St. Louis Closet Company is your go-to for creating functional, beautiful spaces in every corner of your home. Support small and support local is what Jennifer says, and get organized the St. Louis way. So we've had an incredible show at 6 o'clock. Happy hour is ending, and we're going to end it perfectly with SqWires bringing us jalapeno pineapple margarita and some incredible cookies and some items from the store. Thank you so
You're
much,
welcome.
Bethany,
Thank
for
you.
spending time with us. We can't wait to come in, take a road trip to Lafayette Square and spend some time with you. So In Your City show coming to you as the Lou Information Station, live on demand at luinfo.com. You can subscribe to YouTube page there at the Lou Info. Watch the show live if you don't want to be on the dial at 590. And of course, anywhere in the world, you can listen to luinfo.com. Check out all the great shows that are running throughout the day that they have going. We're 24/7. There's something streaming for you right here at the Lou Information Station. In Your City show will be back tomorrow. I'm Kelly Lamb, and that is
Gordon Montgomery.
I should have said my hot husband, right? Because he was so nice earlier to say beautiful.
Yeah, it's one thing in that beginning of the show.
Until tomorrow, cheers.